Hi, I'd like to make a few comments about Assignment 5. If you've looked at it, you see that it appears to be pretty complex, and it is. It's a lot more complex than the first four assignments that you have submitted. This is truly a learning experience, and I'm going to go and refer to the instructions. Hopefully, this short video will help you get started. The objective for this assignment is to synthesize application of students' rights in students' code of conduct, school board policy, state and federal statutes, case law, in constitutional law, in students and or teacher administrative issues, including special education with a focus of strategic decision making and critical thinking skills. Now that's saying a mouthful, and I understand. Don't be frightened by the page numbers in this assignment. It is a comprehensive complicated case study, but it has components that a principal needs to be aware of when they look at dealing with this kind of situation. And what does the principal do as opposed to what the law requires the principal to do? So there's a case study. Very briefly, it's a situation that happens in the cafeteria. There's some two students come together, and there's some comments made, a little push shove, and then a weapon is brought out. And then the response is another weapon. And to make this a little more complicated, one of the students is a special education student. So what do I want you to do? If you look in your assignment, you'll see the case study. You'll see the components for the assignment. And your prompt is, acting as a school administrator, the principal, students will research and identify the legal issues resulting from components of a serious legal case study. Each student will make use of court cases and legal policy documents to guide their decision making. Now, this assignment is structured in a way that you need to go to the resources available to you to make the best decision and to deal with this issue. Okay, the field of school law is so vast, so huge. How do you get it into some kind of methodological order in making a critical decision? Well, it's not so much as do you know all the law as it is, do you know where to go to inform you in making the correct decision according to policies and procedures. So this situation, again, happens in the cafeteria, and there's some pushing and shoving. A boy jumps in, and then there's some threatening with a weapon. Okay, a knife in this situation is a dangerous weapon by federal code. So make sure you look at the resource on that, because it has a lot to do with the ultimate outcome for these students. So if you look on your in your assignment instructions, you'll see a template at the towards the end. That's what I want you to fill in. I want you to write a APA paper. Okay, don't worry about formatting APA paper. Just fill in the blanks on the template. Now, of course, you have to use APA for your title page. Anytime you cite or reference something or somebody, and references at the end of this paper that you're going to turn in. But use the template, okay? The first, and I give you the template, okay? You can copy and paste it into a Word document. I'm not looking for long, drawn out responses. Looking at you looking at the resources and replying appropriately. And it's a learning situation, okay? If you don't hit them all, I'll work with you to correct them. But do your best in looking at the resources I provide for you. You see a lot of issues here. The first one is student rights, okay? Now, what I want you to do in the template is just identify what is the student right issue, okay? And then what needs to be done. So in the student rights section, cite the activity. In the case study that speaks to students' rights, go to the Supreme Court case. I give you all the resources in Blackboard. You have your textbook. I think I give you a chapter on Bateman and Bateman. You have rights laws. There's a lot of resources you can use. Then I want you to cite your school board policy, okay? Every school board policy in a district is online. Look at your school board policy. That is your first go-to as a principal to make sure you're making the correct decisions regarding the student's right issue, okay? You may want to do something different, but you have to work within the school board policy. And then the last thing is to tell me, what should the principal do? Okay, knowing that you've looked at the top three. Now, I tell you the first one, okay? You've dealt with the Supreme Court case before, Tinker versus Des Moines. But be careful when you read that Supreme Court case, and be very clear what the court said and how you're looking at this situation. The second component is due process. Again, what in the case study is the due process issue? Cite the Supreme Court case, and then school board policy, then what you do as a principal. Same for search and seizure. What is the activity in the case study that has to do with search and seizure, Supreme Court case, school board policy, and then what would you do as the principal? Again, not the whole case, just this search and seizure issue. Then the fourth one, sexual harassment. Okay, again, the activity, Supreme Court case, school board policy, and what you should do as the principal. And don't get mixed up with some other kinds of harassment, okay? We're only dealing with 5 different components here. There's a lot more components in this case study. Then your last one is special education, okay? What is the activity? Now, I'm not looking for a Supreme Court case, but what is the special circumstances that this special education student finds himself in? And what's the school board policy? And what's the principal's actions? Okay, so it's sort of fill in the blank and as far as formatting. So again, this is not APA formatting, but it's formatting that all I need you to do is to put in the responses. And remember, if you cite or reference something, make sure you do that in APA. You have a reference section and your title page. Okay, I wish you a good journey on this case study. I think you'll find it interesting. These are the type things that happen, and it's not just one response that will take care of the case study. You can see that there's 5 different components here, but there could probably be another 5 or 10 components that I could pick out. So good luck. If you have any questions, call me, email me, text me, and again, they're due Saturday at midnight. I try to grade on Sunday and get them back to you. If you have some kind of issue or something, just shoot me an email so I know what's going on, okay? God bless. Bye.